Hi guys, Jim here from Veggie Outdoors. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today I'm just hanging out in the garage. I'm going to try and make myself a little cooking stove. I've been looking online for some, but at the moment they're just out of my price range for the time being. So the plan is to try and build my own out of some bean cans to see if they work, basically. So my plan is that I'm going to take one of these cans and I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom here to allow airflow. Now I'm going to drill some smaller holes around the top to let air in near a pan. Seems simple enough, I suppose. I'm going to do these all at opposites so that they're evenly spaced. I'm going to clean up these little bits of tin that haven't come off. So something I've noticed with a lot of can-based stoves is they don't really have an easy way for loading material in. You always have to take things off, reload, put it back on. So I'm going to put a small hole in the front where you can at least load some of some smaller material to try and keep it burning. So I'm just going to mark that on here. It's not going to be a huge gap for loading, but it'll be something at least. In fact, I might make it a little bit bigger than that, bring it down a little lower, down to here. So that's what I'm going to go for, if you can see the lines there. So obviously you've got to be really careful when doing this, because these are some seriously sharp edges. You can easily cut yourself. I should probably be wearing some kind of gloves, but we all know how it is. We never follow the rules that we know we should. Don't know if you guys can hear it, but my wife is singing in the background. She's got a beautiful voice. We're actually in a band together called Fishhook. She's practicing something at the moment. for herself. So there we are, there's the hole for loading smaller materials whilst you're burning. It will also help to add airflow. Next plan is to add the air holes around the top to hopefully help it burn more efficiently and get rid of a little bit of the smoke. Okay, so the smaller holes, far more dangerous. Be much more careful. Okay, so what I've done here is I've added a little bit of tape between these two cans because I was finding that as I'm putting pressure onto the can to drill in, it's bending, and I think that's why it's being a little bit more stubborn than the lower holes here, where you've got the base plate to hold it nice and sturdy. So hopefully this is going to make it a little bit easier. Much easier. Okay, so this is what we're left with. We've got the small holes around the top to help with efficiency of burning up some of the smoke. We have a loading hole and we have the bottom air holes. So later on today I'm hoping to get out into the woods with my boy Blue and we'll give it a try, see what it's like. We are back in the woods. We're going to go test out my little tin can stove, see if it works. I love how nature builds natural tunnels. It's beautiful. So just walking through some beautiful woodland here, nice thick and dense, and we've come across this. This is how not to leave a site. This is not leave no trace, this is leave a hell of a lot of trace and a hell of a lot of mess. So now we have somewhere to sit and somewhere to put our bags. Hi guys, so we're at my camp in the local estate that I use. We're just going to give a go at building a fire in my tin can stove that I've built. I bought my boy Bleu. Bleu, come over. My boy Bleu that I've brought along with me. What do you reckon the chances are of us getting a fire going in the stove?
I think we could do it, but if we do, it would be really hard because it is a bit wet, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's the official verdict. It's a bit wet, so it might be hard. Okay, so our best bet today for starting a fire is probably going to be using some of this dry grass. It's the only thing that's really that dry at the moment. So me and Bleu are going to go around and collect a load of that, which you can see there's quite a lot of it around. Blue's given into hunger already. He's going into a pepper army. Obviously this is veggie outdoors, but I don't force my children to be vegetarian. Camera fell over. So guys, I just found this little snail dude. Never seen one like this before. Any chances you guys can tell us what kind of snail he is? So Blue, for his birthday, decided to buy himself a new penknife. Do you want to show everybody the penknife, mate?
Yeah. So it has this blade here, as it would.
What's special about that blade, Blue?
It's got a rounded end.
So what does that make it?
Child friendly.
It's a Duke of Edinburgh one. Believe it or not, just having that logo on there made that £10 more expensive than any other penknife. For that and the rounded blade. Is it good value for money, do you think?
Yeah.
You enjoying using it?
I do like it, yeah. It's my favourite one I've ever had.
Good. And where are we taking it at the end of May?
We're taking it camping. Yeah.
And where do we go camping?
Well, it used to be called Feast in the Forest, or Feast in the Woods. But now it's a family camp thing. Wow. I've never seen you do that. Ooh.
Okay, so here's my little tin can stove that I'm going to try and make a fire on. We're going to give it a go. I'm going to try and light it with my ferro rod, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to work, so if it doesn't, I've got a light. is all a little bit damp, so I'm not sure it's going to work. Right, I don't think that's going to work this time. No. Okay, given up on the throw rod. Everything's just a little too damp to get it going, so I'm just going to see if I can get this going with a lighter for the purposes of what we need to do today, which is to test out my stove. However, everything is really, really very wet. You can see just how damp everything is with the amount of smoke that's coming off. Okay, we've got something going, that's a start. Using some more of the grass to try and pull the heat through. Okay, we've got a bit of fire going now. So what I need you to do, Bleu, is absolutely nothing.
Oh.
Gonna make you some dinner.
Well, at least some lunch.
Yeah. Alright, smarty pants. Go feed the fire. So this is where this side door comes in quite handy. You can feed in some of the small dry stuff to get that fire up and running again. Obviously you've got to try and be careful not to build too much of a pile around the outside of the can, because the last thing we want is this fire to spread just like that. Okay, so we didn't have any baked beans in the house this morning, so we've gone with spaghetti hoops for Blue's lunch. So hopefully this is going to work and I'm going to be able to keep feeding the fire through the hole on the side here that I've made. You might be able to see that I've pulled these out. They weren't really taking at all. Make sure to keep an eye on this fire. I'm just going to keep snapping up smaller twigs, keep feeding them in the hopes that we'll keep this fire going. a bit of action now. Yeah, now we're cooking. Well, hey, looks like Blue's going to get some lunch after all.
Yay! Can't wait to eat it.
Okay, so I think we've managed to cook Blue some kind of lunch. The spaghetti hoops have at least heated. Whether they're cooked or not is a different thing altogether, but you know, you can eat the things cold, so what's the problem? So Blue, do you want to do a...
Please be clean. I'll go with it anyway. I'm gonna eat them.
Want to do a taste test? Tell us how they are. Make sure to blow them, they're going to be hot. They're good? Happy with your lunch?
Yeah.
That's taken me about half an hour to cook.
Yeah.
Okay, Blue, so what's the most important thing when leaving a day camp?
Never leave a trace.
Okay, so what are we going to do now?
We're going to dig a hole to dispose all of these ashes.
Okay, cool. So what have you got there? Just one of the sticks that we battened down from our wood log, wasn't it? Okay, so let's dig a hole.
It's not going to be very easy. Okay, probably should have thought that. I want to have a go. Like that.
Yeah. If you hold it so that you've got your hand the other way around.
What do you mean?
So if you hold it that way, you can really get and drag. And you want to turn it so that you're dragging this way, biggest amount possible. So the next thing is this. Got to it's still a little warm, but it's holdable. So we're gonna tip this into here. As you can see, there's still a few little embers on some of this. So what we're gonna do is, Blue, if you get your water bottle from over there, and we're going to tip some water onto the ash to make sure that it's nice and cold. Might want to give that a good squeeze to get some more out, Blue.
Yeah.
That's it, until you can't see anything white left. So it's all gone dark and murky. That should do it. So now we just need to cover it over. So if you just kick the dirt over it, just pull it over with your foot. See everything that we've dug out. And give it a good old stamp down on there. Nice and firm. Perfect. Now this is pretty dirty and smoky, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bit of moss here and my water. I'm just going to put a bit of water on the can. And I'm going to take the moss. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a clean off, get some of that soot off the outside here, just so that when I put it back in my pack, it doesn't leave it looking messy in there. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more water to clean the moss, the mud off, and that's that done. Put that there to dry. And this one can you get those sticks, pop them on that pile there.
This far.
Yep. And this is how you leave no trace. Other than a few bits of chopped wood which are over here, which isn't actually unusual in this environment as it's a managed woodland. It's absolutely clear. Okay, so in conclusion, my tin can stove wasn't that great. It took a lot of effort to keep things going, and really the fuel situation was difficult to manage. The hole in the front, which was meant to make it easy, didn't really do the job, so this is something I'm going to have to revisit at a later date, and me and Bleu will have to come out and try again, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
And this time we bring baked beans.